Whenever you're ready.
Hi, this is Sara. Welcome again to another nutrition moment here at Clark's Nutrition and Natural Foods Market. So check this out. I was thinking about this the other day when I was a kid growing up, and this girl next door, we used to kind of hang out and play and things of that nature. It's kind of an odd situation that every now and then she would eat dirt. I thought that was crazy that she would eat dirt, right? So as my life went on, mind you, I was like a little child, like 5, 6 years old. Later on, I ended up working in a health food store, and a lady came in. She used to ask for this product all the time. She used to tell me, don't run out of this product, don't run out of this product. I'm like, fine. So, obviously we eventually run out of the product, and lo and behold, she gets upset at me. She says, look, you got to get this back in, because if I don't take this product on a regular basis, I crave dirt. Well, what was the product? It was a vitamin and mineral product. So ultimately what we find out later on, after a bunch of different types of going to college and reading things, to find out she has what they call pica, which is like a mineral deficiency, right? So believe it or not, when we think about like organic farming and we think about sustainable agriculture and things of that nature, it's very critical, okay? And so the reason why is this. When it comes to nutrients that are in our foods, they come out of the soil, right? And if it's an animal that eats it, they're eating what came out of the ground, and ultimately if the soil is deficient, then what's going to happen, we're going to have a continued deficiency all the way through, okay? So that said, one of the things that happens is it boils back down to the soil. The other thing to remember about the soil, in order for the plant to grow, there are specific microorganisms in there as well too. There are different types of bacteria that are obviously probiotic as well, but they're necessary in order for those particular plants to be able to grow. The other thing to remember is this. Today, especially today, when it comes to inorganic farming, a lot of the farming practices basically strip the land, so to speak, of all the nutrients. And one of the other things that happens too is we have a tendency to do is like plant just like one particular type of crop, this crop, that crop, but we don't rotate crops. What that does ultimately is it kind of depletes the soil. It's said that there might be only 60 literally harvests left, or 60 years of nutrient dense soil left. A lot of areas the nutrient density is dropped dramatically. Okay, so all that said, I'm going to present to you a company that's trying to reverse the trend on this. It's pretty cool. You start reading about the founder of this company and what she did, Katie Hill. What she did is she literally saw this trend that was going on. She also looked at carbon emissions and things of that nature. Well, when there's a healthy soil, the carbon dioxide actually stays in the soil as opposed to getting into the atmosphere. So there's a particular company called Green America, and what they're trying to do is regenerate the agricultural practices and also rejuvenate the soil in so many depleted areas. It's said that 60% of our soils are depleted. The other thing to remember that is this. When we look at organic versus conventional produce, literally the nutrient density is much more nutrient dense in organic. Mind you, yes, you're going to get proteins, fats, carbohydrates. Those are what we call macronutrients. The micronutrients, which are the vitamins and minerals, those are what have been depleted. A lot of you guys, and maybe you're my age, you saw Popeye and all the other different things, right? So the little different types of cartoons out of like World War II days, and he ate his spinach and away he went. Literally, when you look at spinach today, it literally is 1/10 the amount of nutrients that it had before. All right, so we're actually losing nutrients because of the way we farm. So one of the things that this company, True Grace, has done is they literally have put together a program where a large percentage of their proceeds, so to speak, go to help to fund the process of rejuvenating agriculture throughout the United States in the Green America Project. Okay, so that's just one of the cool things about this company. The other thing that we're going to talk about too is the actual company itself. So one of the things that they're doing, the founder, Katie Hill, she basically ended up doing this. She worked for some other different companies, such as like New Chapter and other different companies, and she said, I'm a little bit more passionate about a few things. I want to put together my own company, literally bring it to the forefront. Woman-owned, by the way, which is kind of a cool moment. Me having 2 daughters, I always get excited with that moment. So ultimately what happens in this particular situation, she comes up with a whole foods-based product. One of the cool things that she did, as I said, is she really got focused on giving back to rejuvenating America's agriculture program and helping to prevent carbon dioxide emissions. Also, what was cool, if you go onto their website, you'll actually see that she literally starts her family. Her dad ends up passing away with 4-stage cancer. She gets passionate about the industry and bringing nutrients to people that ultimately need it so richly, right? So, a couple things I just put out here today, just some things for fun. Here's some dirt, okay? Remember, when we look at dirt, oftentimes we forget that there's nutrients in this dirt that ultimately end up in our foods, right? So let's say, for instance, like you can get eggs, right? You can get an egg, and then if you're getting eggs, remember that the chicken, what food that's being consumed determines on whether or not you're going to get omega-3s or different types of fats in the eggs, right? So same thing with a plant. As it consumes, so to speak, the soil and brings out nutrients to you, if it doesn't have enough nutrients in the soil, yes, you're going to still get a yam or whatever it's going to be, whether it's an avocado, but you're going to miss those nutrients, especially the trace minerals that might be lacking. All right, so when it comes to True Grace, what they did is they formulated each product along with other different types of substances, including particular types of mushrooms, in order to be able to get not only the nutrients that you need, but also a balanced immune system as well as a balanced formula, and getting the trace minerals from the food natures. What they basically did too is they basically came out with multivitamins specifically for age groups, which is very critical in my boat. Oftentimes a lot of things change. One of the things that they did, the one who's over 50, they actually added coenzyme Q10. As you age, you have less coenzyme Q10 and produce less coenzyme Q10. So ultimately what happens in that particular situation, on the panel, you're actually getting coenzyme Q10 as opposed to having to take another product. Now, one of the things I want to do is kind of show you a little bit of a base. It's going to be a little bit hard to see it, but what you'll do is you're going through this, you'll see there's all sorts of different things in here. Obviously, the typical nutrient profile that you're going to see with a multivitamin and all the different nutrients that are needed, but then also the food bases that are with it. Those food bases, making sure that those nutrients are going to be absorbed in a much more timely fashion, and also giving you a base nutrient profile for you, literally kind of maybe helping to prevent those gaps that you might be getting by not eating the right types of foods. So a great product when it comes to like specific conditions, like different specific ages and female conditions, set up for each and every situation, from women all the way from the basically what I would call the informative years, and then the over 40s, the over 50s, same thing with the men across the board, ultimately making this a very unique multivitamin that I think you should try. And the other thing that I always kind of have a tendency to say is this: if you're going to try a multivitamin, a lot of times you'll take a multivitamin, it's almost like what I would call like an insurance program. You use it, you feel it, you may not feel it. If you don't feel it, you go, oh, no big deal, I've got an insurance, right? Well, this is one that I'm going to challenge you to take, because I think you're going to feel the difference. And so when you feel the difference, you can actually feel the nutrients that you've been lacking, kind of fill in the gaps that you're not getting from the diet that you've been consuming. All right, so great product. Ultimately, what's cool about it is the passion behind it. And the industry, so to speak, there's an industry like literally of a family that has committed themselves to bringing you probably the best multivitamin that you'll ever be able to use. So I'm going to challenge you to try it, use it, and let me know what you think.